Hi, Andrew with Evermore Studio. I have made several runs at making a light-up paper star ornament in spare moments over the holidays for a few years. Previous attempts involving separate pieces for each point of the star came out okay, but were a lot of work and way too fragile. This past season, I came up with a new design that has just two pieces, a front and a back. I'm sure this isn't unique or original, but it seemed like an obvious thing to try. I experimented with alternating tabs on every other point that attached to the opposite side and with tabs on every point that attached to each other. They both seem to work okay. The alternating tabs seem a little more durable, but block part of the area I wanted to have cut out. Thinner tabs don't hold as well. There is still some shadowing with the connected tabs, so I'm not sure it matters much. I cut my stars on the laser using a jig-and-place technique in order to score the mountain folds on the front and the valley folds on the back. In order to protect the fragile bits of my cutouts, I left the stars attached to the Seclima work-holding mat with the cut pieces still in place while I applied glue. Then I took them out, removed the cutout parts, and pasted on some translucent vellum panels I had already cut. I did the other side the same way. Next, I attached the electronics, starting with some conductive thread. I added a little paper arm to one of the tabs that will fold down inside the star to hold the LED in the center, away from both faces. I glued the threads down to prevent them from moving around and shorting against each other inside the star. I put a Chibitronics Rainbow Fade LED circuit sticker over the glued down ends of the threads so that each thread touched just one of the terminals. I ended up putting a little bit of washi tape over the threads just to make sure they stay in place. To get the threads to come out of opposite sides of the top point, I pulled one through a hole on the tab's fold line with a needle. The other one just needed to be tacked down since the tab from the opposing side will glue over it. After the glue dried on everything, I folded the halves. Mountain folds up, valley folds down, tabs folded all the way under. I applied more glue to all the tabs and pressed the two halves together. The star is pretty flat at this point, which helps reduce the stress on the glued tabs. After letting it dry completely, several hours just to be sure, I can hook up a battery with a couple magnets to test that the circuit stayed intact and, quite satisfyingly, puff up the star. Attaching the conductive thread with magnets is super fiddly. To make it easier, I designed a very simple battery holder in Blender and 3D printed it. It's just two pieces with a thin magnet glued into each piece. I taped the threads down on each side with some conductive copper tape. A CR2032 cell drops into the deeper part and the lid snaps on the other side. This makes it easy to turn on and off. There was one remaining problem. If you hang the star and it spins, the threads will cross and the circuit will short out. To keep that from happening, I painted the exposed portion of the threads with a fabric glue that dries flexible. Having reinvented insulated wire, it is finally finished. If you want to make one yourself or expand on any of this, the basic star pattern and the STL for the battery holder are up on the Evermore Studio site. Thanks for watching.